Pep Guardiola has a problem. He's a victim of his own success. Manchester City has been the top team in the Premier League for the last 4 seasons, and also at the same time of recording, they are joint top in the current campaign with Liverpool. Pep is looking for an unprecedented 5th league title in 5 years. The only issue is, unlike the others, this one's going to be the hardest yet, and for a lot of reasons too. Now, before we get into that, you know the drill. We give you juicy content like this, and in exchange for that, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button to Matchday 365. It's that simple. Right, so Manchester City and Pep, a match made in heaven, or in Abu Dhabi. Whichever way, Pep's transformed the Manchester City team that was doing okay without it into arguably one of the best teams in the world. There's no doubt now that Manchester City are a force. In the 2022-23 season, they went all the way in everything by winning the treble, becoming only the second English team to achieve the feat. But in terms of the league, the standings on the final match day of the last 5 out of 6 seasons indicates City in the top spot and being league champions. But on a closer look, it's been more than that. The 2017-18 and 2020-21 seasons are the only time City breezed to the league. They won it in 2017-18 with 100 points. Unbelievable. In 2020-21, they didn't have to do the job themselves. West Brom's win at Old Trafford confirmed the win and the league for them. Other than that, it's been very tight at the top. In 2018-19, the race title went to the final day, with City beating Brighton at the Amex to clinch it. In 2021-22, they needed a comeback win against Aston Villa on the final day to secure the title. In 2022-23, Arsenal's end of the season collapse gave City the league with 5 points. And last season, it was a much closer affair. 2 points was the difference between City winning the league and losing it. Can City do it again though, is another question. And it's going to be hard, especially with what's going on around them. Everyone else is starting to catch up. Think about it. Ever since City steamrolled their way to the league in the 2020-21 season, it's been tough. Liverpool pushed them all the way the following campaign. The Reds may have fallen off in terms of the league chasing pack, but in their stead, Arsenal rose to the occasion, and barring a few results where they lapsed in concentration and slipped up, they could very easily have been league champions. If I'm being honest, City is a very confusing team to analyse, and it's all thanks to Pep. I mean, taking a current look at the City team now, it's easy to dismiss them as being perhaps the weakest among the top 6. In terms of squad depth, City aren't what they used to be all those years back. In reality though, this is a myth. Pep's ability to interchange player positions and produce campaigns with what he's got is more often than not underrated. The world thought they were going to struggle when Kevin De Bruyne started getting all those injuries in 2020. Everyone thought it'd be the worst when players like Sergio Aguero and Riyad Mahrez left too. The gap started appearing in the vacant positions in the team, but Pep has filled them up. Now, I did say it isn't like it was before, and that's because City had always found ways to work around with the squad they had. But now, it's bound to be different. There are a lot of games to be played this season. The Champions League has now entered an extended format phase, meaning instead of the traditional 6-game group stage format, City will now play 8 games in the competition, and they won't be easy matches too. The new league phase now means that the top teams in Europe are guaranteed to face each other more now. City got drawn against the likes of Inter Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus and Feyenoord. The mixture of home and away matches in the single leg format also means travel congestion could set in. By December, the new Club World Cup and its expanded league form kicks off as well. There'd also be Carabao Cup action and the FA Cup by January. And as been the norm, in between, players would still have to go on international breaks representing their respective countries. This bulk up in fixtures can only mean one thing. When the injuries start piling up, City might find it hard to compete. They've already lost Oscar Bob out for at least 3 to 4 months. A player Pep had spoken about possibly breaking into the first team and playing regular football in this campaign. In terms of transfer activity this campaign, Pep opted to bring Savinho from Girona, and Ilkay Gundogan's return to the team after 1 year stint at Barcelona. You look at the players that left this season, or the player actually, and there's one name that stands out: Julian Alvarez. Honestly, City losing a player like Alvarez just seems like it does a lot more harm than good to the squad. I mean, don't get me wrong, Erling Haaland will score goals and probably outscore everyone in the league again. He's already bagged 2 hat-tricks in 3 games this season. Since when did we allow robots to play the game, eh? But really, the thing is, Haaland won't play every game for City, as was the case last campaign. There are games where he'd need to rest or recover from a rough previous fixture, and having a player to call on like Alvarez just felt like a cheat code. Possibly the greatest backup striker in the history of backup strikers. He's won everything at 24. Alvarez gone, Pep out of contact. They've also got another key player whose contract situation might just distract the team and the tempo as well this season. Captain Fantastic. Arguably the best passer of a ball in his generation, Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne is in his last season at Manchester City, and if perhaps there's one player who truly represents or understands what it means to play for City? Well, it's him. He's been at the club since 2015. The current campaign will make it his 10th season playing for the Sky Blues. Should a player like De Bruyne leave, it becomes difficult to motivate the squad, I believe. And with his talent possibly gone, you might genuinely argue that City have become weaker. Truth is though, everyone else catching up has never been a problem for Pep. Heck, it's like he's enjoying having competition. Another reason why this season could be very hard for Pep and City is the emotional factor involved. If the rumours are true, this might be Pep's final season as City boss. His current deal with the club runs until 2025, or the end of the current season. And to be fair, I don't think anyone expected Pep to be at City for the period he's been. 9 years. His longest spell at a club in his managerial career. Going down to the players now, and the uncertainty of not having a familiar face around in the coming season might eventually creep up on him, especially if the topics start to linger around. The reality is that he's closer to leaving than staying, and this might just be signalling the end of a dynasty that's been in place for years. Hang on a bit. Just in case you haven't done by now, I still need you to hit that subscribe button, man. It goes a long way, so thanks. Pep Guardiola is a tactical genius. Despite the critics coming for him after he finished third in his first season, he's only gotten better as the seasons have progressed. The competition has changed, from Liverpool to Arsenal rivalling them for the league. But City have always found the extra gear needed at the right time to take control and go on a crazy run that always results in the league title arriving at the Etihad in May. For all that's been said about departures and potential departures, still have to give Pep credit for the work he's done with the squad he has. He's turned a group of winners into better equipped winners. The PFA Player of the Year last campaign, Phil Foden, a product of Pep's system at Manchester City. Crazy to think how at the start, the youth team coaches at the club wanted Foden to leave on loan so that he could get more minutes. But Pep said no, and that's because he believed in it. Pep also stated, "I have said many times in press conferences, but maybe not said it in front of him. Phil is the most talented player I have ever seen in my career as a manager. He has everything to become one of the best players." Clearly shows the work and faith Pep has placed in. Pep has a knack for turning already and established players into stars. Think of guys like Phil, as we discussed, Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Jack Grealish, Erling Haaland. All these players who are already putting up decent numbers and proper performances for their previous team or in previous campaigns. Under Pep, they've got even better and have a potential that's just crazy. Erling Haaland in particular will be key for City this season. He absolutely steamrolled the league in his first campaign, breaking the record for the most goals scored in a single league season and finishing as City's top scorer in all competitions. The following season, even though he was injured for most of it, he still managed a league-high 27 goals, more than anyone else in the competition. This season, Haaland has started like a house on fire, a man on a mission. He's scored 2 hat-tricks already against Ipswich Town and West Ham, scored in the opening league game of the season versus Chelsea, and silenced the Cucurella memes. Pretty sure Pep knows if he can keep him fit most of the campaign, it could well be another league title in the bag at the end of May. Truth is, guys, Pep has been in this situation for a while now. He and his City team are very experienced at this. Each year, a new season comes up and the same old questions arise. Can City actually win the league again and repeat the same dominant streak they did in the last campaign? And the answer has been pretty much the same. They always do. And the truth is, guys, this term might not be any different. Pep's got the system, the players, and, if needs, an unholy amount he can spend in the transfer market if they need the players in January. There's no way around the man and his team, and he knows it. So there you have it, guys. City's streak in the league has been on for a while now, and you just can't see it stopping anytime soon, especially with the way they continue to play. Unlike external factors like injury and fatigue setting, there's no team at the moment that looks like it can beat City to the league on the 38-game season stretch. Pep's a genius as well. He can adapt to any situation, factor all that in, and yeah, he's the biggest problem. He can't stop winning. Think it might be different? Got a team in mind you know can rival City to the league this season? Let us know in the comments below, and leave a like and subscribe to Matchday 365 while you're at it. See you next time.